So we got an 04 Duramax diesel and LLY. It's the 04.5. We're going to do a EGR delete in a PVC reroute, which is right here. We're going to do an EGR delete. I'm just going to do a blocker plate. I'm going to keep the same intake. I'm just going to clean it out. I got the blocker plates offline, just pretty much custom made out of steel, something you could do in your garage. Just cut the shape out, drill holes in it, get gaskets. Very easy. I'm gonna go ahead and update the video as we go along and walk you through the steps of what to do. But first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and drain the radiator and get all the fluid out of it. That way I can minimize making a mess. Alright, so let me show you the progress we got so far. Draining the radiator. Okay, so the radiator plug, which, believe it or not, Duramaxes still have them. There's a lot of hype about them taking it off right there. I don't know if you can kind of see. Right here, it's on the passenger side, bottom side. It's a radiator drain plug. Not that hard to get to. Alright, so I took the EGR valve and the inner water cooler off, which it's easy enough to get to. The biggest issue I had was getting off this hose for the thermostat, because it's underneath the mouthpiece right here that goes to the turbo, and it's kind of, I had to take it off in order to get to the hose clamp to actually take it off. So other than that, it was fairly easy. There's the back of the up tube for the inner cooler, and as you can see, I took off the mouthpiece for the turbo. And here, look at all that gunk in my intake there, which is the reason I am doing this. Here's the actual intake pipe. See all that gunk? Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean that out, get some carb cleaner. And then, like I said, I got these blocking plates. Just gonna put on right there and put everything back together. A little helpful note here: have a magnet or a preferably a magnet, in case you drop a bolt down here in between the base somewhere. I actually dropped this bolt. It goes right there to the intake. I dropped it down behind this, and I don't have a magnet, and I just spent about like 25 minutes trying to dig it out. So yeah, that's where I'm at so far. So once I start putting everything back together, I will give you guys another update. Okay, so I finally got everything done and put together. I put antifreeze in it. Everything's running like it should. This is everything put together. No more EGR valve. You can see the radiator hose from the back of the firewall to the thermostat, which is right here. And all that free room in the center there. I had to kind of remake the bracket that was sent with the kit, just because if I took this bolt out, there's a fuel line here. I didn't want it just free flowing. I wanted to leave the bolt there, so I just sent the bracket backwards, just holding this back half, but still pretty sturdy, you know. A tip for when you are filling up your antifreeze with the diesels, or at least Duramax: take this bleeder screw off, go ahead and fill it up until it starts coming out, until all the air comes out. Then you put this back on, run it, and fill it up as needed. And here is, I did a PVC reroute. Most people use a fitting that fits into this. I did not have the correct size fitting to go into this. I just had the one for the 5/8 hose, which I even used the correct hose. I found a hose big enough to just fit in there, hose clamped on, and it does the same trick as what a fitting would do. And then you just run it down. I got it running down and alongside the frame there, not too far down, just pretty much right down there under the wheel well. And in time, I'm gonna put a filter on the end of it, just so it doesn't shoot oil all over the place, although it's not really gonna do that in general, you know. But yeah, all in all, everything's done. We'll See how it does driving down the street now. So I am now in the car, or the truck, driving. My boost is pretty good. My exhaust temp is normal. I do throw a code. It does throw a code with the EGR being unplugged, but it doesn't throw the truck in the limp mode. So in that sense, I am good. But I got a PPE standard coming in. So once I get that hooked up and programmed, I should be good to go. No more codes. You know, it deletes it. I did take off the muffler. It actually fell off while I was pulling out of the garage. So I just finished, go ahead and took it off. So right now I'm running straight pipe. I'll weld up a tailpipe this weekend or something. All in all, it took me about 3.5 hours. But like I said, I did the EGR delete. I did the PVC reroute. And I also had to mess with my exhaust there and then finish cleaning up the shop. So all in all, about 3.5 hours. It's a pretty easy job. I mean, everything goes back on the same way it comes off, you know what I mean? And really, like I said, the hardest part of taking off that EGR valve is actually the hose, the coolant hose for the thermostat, because the mouth for the turbo's in the way, you know, and you just gotta finick with that a little bit. But as far as I did some research and watched some other videos, and people were having a hard time getting to the up tube, you know, trying to get the back bolts off the intercooler. But I had a lot of room in there. I didn't really have an issue with it. I used a socket with a short extension on the back side, and I got to all 4 bolts pretty easily. I do recommend having a magnet, like I said earlier, in case you drop a bolt. Also, another note, go ahead and unhook the negatives to the batteries. I didn't do it before I started, and when I was pulling, when I was wrenching to take off the intake tube, I accidentally hit the hot to the alternator, sparked a little bit. So to go ahead and avoid that, probably a good idea to unhook the batteries, you know, be safe. Any comments or questions, I'll try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. This truck is a work in progress, so bear with me. I'm a pretty fairly decent mechanic. I kind of have a good idea what I'm doing, even though I am new to a duramax, but it's still a motor, still runs off fuel and air. The only thing that changes is the way it's delivered. Well, thanks for watching.